Hi, everyone. Good evening. I hope everyone can hear me all right. Yep, perfect. I love the music, but I think we might have to stop it. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. Welcome to our second Media for Growth annual gathering. I'm Dana Ferris, I'm the CEO and founder of Media for Growth, and I will be your MC for the rest of the evening. As some of you, as most of you, I hope know, this evening also marks the completion of our MFG fundraising program. This is an initiative that we started at Media for Growth last year, and is to support early-stage consumer businesses that have a presence in the UK or they are planning to enter the UK market. And we want to do that by helping them build scale through mass media advertising and working strategically with media partners. What's the goal? The main goal is to optimize the first media capital fundraise. So during the course of 4 weeks, up to 10 companies get access to specialized tools and workshops and reports that provide, first of all, a solid foundation into the UK and European media landscape, as well as media planning strategies. But of course, we're here to find creative ways to cover that budget and work strategically with media partners. So a strong focus of the program is to support companies fundraise, understand what investors' expectations, what they are, the due diligence process, term sheet negotiation, and so on. This year, we've been working with 9 brands, and you will be hearing from them in just a moment. But first, some housekeeping rules and how this evening is going to go. This event is recorded, and we will take pictures. If you don't want your pictures to be taken, just please come and talk to Maria and me after the presentations, let us know. And over the next hour, each founder will come up on stage and present their brands, how they've got to where they're now, and most importantly, what's next for them. Most of them are in the process of fundraising, and certainly by being on this stage, all of them see the value in working with a strategic media partner. But some may be looking for perhaps connections in opening up new distribution partners or channels, or perhaps new key hires. So this event, I would encourage you to connect, interact, and we have both cash investors as well as media capital investors and other strategic people in the room. We aim to wrap up the presentations in about an hour, so at 7:30, and then we'll move the conversation over a drink and enjoy some canapes, and we'll conclude around 9 p.m. Now, as we welcome a new set of founders this year, we still continue to support some of the companies that we've been working with in the previous program. And I also invited Andre from Trip to come up on stage and tell us about some of the exciting stuff that have been going on at Trip over the last few months. One thing that is really important is that that big number, it might be a big figure, but I think what's really important is the partnership and the strategic media support that companies are getting, which is not only in form of advertising spending, but it's also the expertise and the knowledge that comes through such partnership. Out of the 8 brands we work with, half of them have received up to £17 million in media capital commitments over a multi-year partnership. And PKW is one of the companies that most recently has fundraised. They're a leading car exchange marketplace in Germany, aiming to digitize and radically simplify car trading, who closed a partnership with German Media Pool. Their campaign is actually live on RTL Spy as we speak, a €3.4 million media campaign that is running over the next couple of years. Now, I was actually talking to Vinay earlier, and with every event we run, we see an increasing interest from founders as well as investors and industry professionals in trying to understand more about how media capital works, or deploying capital if they're a media company, or raising capital if you're a founder. And the fact that you're here today, I think it serves as a validation that the media capital industry is becoming more widely recognized. If 2-3 years ago, we would have been asked, what is media capital or media for equity? I feel like we're now at a pivotal moment where we get asked, whom should I speak to, or whom should I partner, or why you over another partner? And luckily, this is not just a gut feeling, but data proves it so as well. I would like now, for the next couple of minutes, just to walk you through a couple of charts that are part of our UK report on the state of media capital in this market. The full report is available on our website, and the data that is presented in this report, as well as all other research that we do, is based on the investment information, our MFG Deal Hub, which is again an openly accessible investment platform with over 600 unique media capital deals listed that have been signed over the last 20 years. UK makes up almost 25% of the media capital deal count globally. And despite that small decline in 2023, there's an obvious upward trend in terms of the number of closed media capital deals over the last 6 years. Sweden comes in first in terms of the total volume as well as transactions, with Aggregate Media being one of the early funds that have started the trend in the early 2000s. But Germany is also one of the top markets as well, coming in third. One thing without a doubt is that Europe is leading. It's one of the leading markets when it comes to media capital. And here in the UK, the reason we have such a strong market is thanks to broadcasters and media companies and publishers like Channel 4, ITV, UK TV, Daily Mail, and many others that have built this market over the years. Media capital, to me, and I say this to every time when I meet a founder or a prospective media company, it should be seen as another venture model, as another way of investment. And it actually does follow similar trends to the VC investments, which may seem perhaps slightly counterintuitive when you think that you actually, as a startup, might be preserving cash when doing a media capital investment. But the reduced venture capital deployment since the last quarter of 2022, continuing into the first quarter of this year, it's clearly obvious, with the last quarter actually being one of the slowest quarters in terms of deal count since 2019. And startups naturally have become more conservative with their expenditure, particularly last year. And marketing, as even with larger businesses, tends to be the first line of cost to be cut. Well, for consumer founders, if this looks pretty bleak, it's actually even tougher. And they are mainly the recipients of media capital investments. These are the companies that you're going to see on stage that usually defy traditional norms of investment. And despite they account for nearly half of all the venture-backed IPOs, in 2023, consumer startups received only 7% of VC seed funding, which is the lowest since 2018. I know it can't get worse, right? I'm painting a very bleak picture right now. And the reason I mentioned the seed stage, that's actually very important. I don't have that chart here, it's in the full report, but when we look at all the investments, media capital investments done in the last 6 years, 43% here in the UK have started at a seed stage. So brands are starting to think much early on about investing in brand building. Now, let's look at the bright picture, right? Because despite the drop in volume of transaction, that small drop in 2023, one thing that is very crucial is that digital startups are a very specific, important set of advertisers for media companies. They account for 20% of the total TV ad spending in the UK, and that number has stayed pretty stagnant over the last 6 years. To translate that in pounds, that's 1.5 billion pounds every year that gets invested in TV by online board businesses. But perhaps an often overlooked aspect is that many of these digital brands, all of them that you see on this slide, have actually raised media capital. The ones that are particularly highlighted have done it here in the UK, have actually spent part of that $1.5 billion doing a strategic media deal with one of the companies. I think where I'm going with this is that media capital plays an ever-growing role in increasing ad revenue for media companies while supporting young brands amplify their reach and accelerate the path to profitability. Now, obviously, we can't be oblivious to the fact that a lot of brands still require capital as well as strategic support. Again, re-emphasizing the reason we are here, and we have a lot of investors in the room that are deploying capital in businesses. But what's also important, and the reason I'm showing this slide, is that more than anything, a brand requires a diverse media stack of both performance channels as well as top-of-the-funnel media properties, and that specialized expertise that comes with it. And that's the model that we've been adopting at MFG and with the program that we've been running twice now. And it's also a commitment that we want to make in adding more partners to the program, more partners to the syndicated rounds, as well as expanding to new markets from next year. As a final thought, again, some big numbers to show again, but just to kind of wrap our head around the size of this industry, It's a $750 billion industry. And billions are traded daily in advertising, providing a stable and predictable market environment. It's a strategic move with a very solid foundation and clear benefits for both media companies and startups. The total value of media capital transactions in the last 20 years, including adding the Times of India Group transactions of about $4 billion, is 1%. This is an extremely exciting space with regions and markets that remain highly untapped, with channels that are underutilized, and with plenty of media companies and publishers to join the table and work together to invest in the next generation of founders. And the last thing to say is that it's not an exaggeration to say that in the next 3 to 5 years, we want to see every consumer brand inherently think about media capital or raising media capital as they would have gone on to raise VC money, to become the norm for scaling a household brand. And now, speaking of our commitment to exploring the strategic importance of such partnerships, I would like to turn to our program partners. And first, to thank RTL Ad Alliance, because they made this program possible. RTL Ad Alliance is the international advertising powerhouse of RTL, connecting global brands to over 150 million viewers daily through interactive top video content. And I would like to thank Christoph and Stefan, Ollie, Sean, David, from the international and the London team at RTL for being directly involved in the MFG program, for allowing us to crash share your office multiple times in the last 4 weeks, spending long hours with us, but also to all the regional and international experts that were part of putting this together. Those slides were brilliant, and the reports that we've seen were absolutely fantastic. And our partnership with RTL, and Christoph will come up on stage and show you the sheer volume of media properties that they have, represents a collective ambition to build a global media capital powerhouse, funding and supporting startups worldwide through the right media channels at any stage of their growth. And we prepared a short video for you, and then I would like to introduce Christoph on stage.
Sure.
Hey Media World, meet RTL Ad Alliance. RTL Ad Alliance was created from the most successful broadcasting, publishing, and ad tech companies in Europe. It's about getting your ads seen by the right people. An ideal audience, inspired, engaged, and ready to hear your brand's message. Audiences, brands, content. It's our ABC. We offer a simplified access to international media brands in one streamlined service for an unrivaled reach in Europe and beyond. TV, radio, print, digital, we work with them all. We provide access to the latest insights and innovations, along with dedicated support from our media experts. We develop market-leading ad tech solutions for buying, selling, and customizing ad space to help you make the most of each platform at every stage of the customer journey. For the unmissable. We're the smart, simple, and trusted way to connect advertisers to audiences through quality content. RTL Ad Alliance. Simplicity for advertisers. Value for publishers.
Great. I would like to invite Christoph to say a few words about RTL now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jen. Cool. I thought it was working, no?
Oh, it's on? Okay.
Does it work? Yeah. Yes. So, first of all, thank you so much, Diana, because I'm so pleased to be here. Because you made our job, you explained so well. And so there was this video, and I don't want to talk that much about RTL today. I like to talk much more about you, because this is the reason why we are here. I'm Chris. Some of you, you know me with the team. In charge since so many years of growth. Growth. What does it mean, grow? When you think about that, you are entrepreneurs, you are startups, you dream about being really big. You need money, you need ideas, you have good ideas. And this is why I'm here, because when it's about people, it's not a problem. We have so many viewers. We reach every day, everywhere in Europe, but also in USA. And you see that we have the biggest broadcaster in each place of the European region. We have also big streaming capability. We have also big content, etc. But the message I wanted to pass you today is we need to reconnect. We need to spend time together. I need to understand exactly what you look for. You saw in the video, we were talking about ABC. Myself, I was saying to Stéphane in this team, it's more about, first of all, C. C first, because it's all about content. When I started to talk with you guys, this is where I'm interested in. You have super good ideas. You want to make the people's life much more easier with the innovative ideas you develop. And this is also what we do since the beginning. As a big broadcasting company, we produce content to make sure that every day we can make people happy about what they watch. This is the goal. And if you link the C with the B, the brands, because you are future brands, and if it matches together, I can tell you that you will go back home, and I will go back home, and I will talk to my people, my kids, my friends, and say, hey, that's super. I discovered a great brand. I watched this program in France, in Spain, etc. And it was about a super innovative product on tea, on coffee, on travel, etc. And that's the goal. That's the goal, and that's why I'm really happy to be here. So I don't want to really to give you so many numbers. I would like just to tell you that everything is possible. We need to rethink also ourselves as a media company, the way we can help you. And it's not about, as you said, Diana, hey, let's talk about money. No, I'm not here to pick up your money if you owed me. I would love to make business with you, of course. But we all want to make businesses. Okay, it's simple. But the first key to make business is really, first of all, to make sure that your product is great, is going to really answer the people's needs to change their life. And ourselves, as media, we need to make sure that this product is going to please our audience. And then we will make business. So then we can talk about capital, investment, etc., because that's also our role as RTL Alliance, to make sure that we can facilitate your access to this inventory, these million of viewers you can reach today. So that's the message I would like to pass you. C, B, and A. So very often we need to talk about the creative. That's why we started with the video 30-second spot or 1 minute testimonial, because if you have a good content, a good story to tell, the work is done. And then no worries about the distribution. We have the platforms, we have the distribution power. You can reach massively 50, 60, 17% of the population on the linear television, but it's also on digital now. You can address, we have the technology, we have everything. It's not a big problem. The main thing is really to discuss your product, your vision, where you want to be. And I wanted to mention some good guys with whom we worked since the beginning. They were like you. They were either at the beginning of the story, or they raised funds. They were super interesting, but they didn't want to spend their money like this, to burn it. And so there is Rolf from Trivago. With some of you, I spoke about Trivago. Everybody knows Trivago today, but at this time, there were two in the kitchen, and they were even surprised that RTL or NBC will meet them to see how we can empower them. And when we say empower them, it's just, hey, guys, you are entrepreneurs, you have €1, and I know that €1 or £1 is really important. So it must be €1 you spend, €2 back, €3 back, we test and learn. So Rolf is some of my good partners still now. I asked him even to give you some ideas and thoughts, to share some thoughts with you. That's his video, because it would have been even honored to be there. And we know so many other companies who are proud to have a guide and make this level of branding.
He's eager to
Hello,
go.
Rolf.
And I'm founder of Trivago. And RTL was one of our most important partners scaling the business globally. So my friend Christoph asked me to share with you maybe one or two important thoughts about What were my important learnings while doing this? And while there's really a whole bunch of things that I look back to and that were big learnings today, I think there's maybe one thing I want to share with you. Because usually what happens when you start thinking about bringing your brand global is that you talk to people and they tell you, when you go global, you have to do it in one big step, right? So you have to have this and this really big budget. You have to have this amazing campaign thought through, you have to have these and these creatives. So they want to lock you into all of these big decisions, right? And of course they want to do that because they want to sell you that stuff, right? So the big problem is that you lose the power on the way to take decisions. And why is it so important? Because you make learnings on the way, right? So you start doing something and you realize, oh shit, this is really not working, yeah? And then you cannot change something in it, right? So what for us was the most important thing is to break it down to the most smallest pieces where we can take granular decisions on the way. We can change, adapt, and rework stuff that didn't work. Yeah. So that is like, even though it seems to be slower because it's not this one big step, it's many small iterations. Yeah. At the end, it can be way faster. Than the one big step. Yeah. So hopefully this resonates a little bit with you, and I wish you an amazing day.
So thank you very much, Rolf. So thank you very much. So we were asked to speak 2 minutes, but because the idea is really to interact, to discuss, to understand each other. And so keep just this idea, tell me about your story. And we will do our best in order to bring you some creative ideas to make you exist, grow. We have tools, we have lots of ways to make you successful. Media capital is one thing, but there are so many smart ways to exist in terms of branding capacity and capacity to scale. And don't forget what Rolf said, because this is what we do step by step. Very step-by-step, accurate measurements. We try, we fail, we retry, we grow. That's the way we work with Stefan and all the teams. So really thank you very much for
Thank you, Chris.
meeting you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Now, staying on the travel theme and building sustainable brands, I would like to invite Andre, CEO and founder at Trip.com, to join us today. Trip.com is a super travel platform that makes multi-destination bookings easy. Rob is very insisting. He really wants to be with us today. They're one of the 8 founders who participated in the Media for Growth fundraising program. I realize I'm talking at 2 microphones. So if you're on TikTok or Instagram, you might have seen one of their viral videos. I think you guys have reached 4 million views last month. Anyway, you'll tell us more about that. But their media and fundraising strategy has evolved quite a bit since they left the program, and there's been a lot of exciting updates. I don't want to take too much time, so please welcome Andre.
Thank you so much, Diana. So I'll try to be brief and start with something a bit obvious. Maybe everyone here already noticed that when we are spending time on TikTok, on YouTube, we are not searching for things. These algorithms are actually deciding what I am as a user going to be recommended. And this is a big change. Like 10 years ago, I would go to YouTube, I would search for keywords for music video, for cat videos, and then the algorithm would pull out the suggestions. And this is not happening anymore on these platforms. But when we look into the travel players, the Booking.coms, the massive ones, this is still how travel is being booked most of the cases. I'm still saying to these platforms, I'm in London, give me flights to Lisbon, fill out content. And this is missing me, leaving me as a user to miss really good opportunities. So this is a very big opportunity. And we have been thinking, how can we change this way of planning trips and how can we modernize it? And this is basically how we started at Trip.com. So our backend team basically cached, so they stored 70 million flights in what is called a graph database. So basically it means every day they take a bit more than 9 billion prices on this database, and they use this data to feed it into our own AI, and our own AI is going to stitch these different data points, these different flights, trains, and buses, and trying to create unique travel packages. That it's the same goal as TikTok. In TikTok is what is likely to grab my attention. Here is what is likely to get me to buy the trip. So basically, with this starting point, we created an ecosystem which has 3 steps, basically. The first step is like the YouTube homepage, where I go and I'm inspired and I get suggestions that are likely to interest me. So that's our homepage that you see at trip.com. The second stage is when I find a trip that I like, I go into that trip and I can customize it and I can buy it with one click. So we take care of everything after booking. You get all your boarding passes. So this is the booking side of things. And then last, attached to the personalization, we are building a lot of things regarding gamification. How can we reward you to come back as a user? So this is a bit what I call the trip.com ecosystem. And this is the important thing for investors is what is in for me, like what is the goal for trip.com. And there are 3 tiers of travel companies. So I like to say that the first tier, we can call it the bottom tier in a way, it's the technology-driven travel companies. So ITA is one example where we are talking about valuation normally no more than 600 million euros when the company exits. The second tier, where things get much more interesting, is when you succeed at creating a household name. Okay, this is really important. And the God tier, in a way, is when not only you succeed at creating a household name, Airbnb or Booking.com, but also you own the customer, you own the transaction, which is something that, for example, Kayak or others in the only household name tier, they don't own the customer, they are redirecting customers. So this then, we need to fit here where we stand at Trip.com and why Media for Growth is so important for us. We have done a lot of things on the first tier, right? So we have created this very unique AI, a lot of data collection activities, really unique suggestions, a lot of things going on. But for us to go into the second tier, this is where money is needed to create a household name. And knowing the climate for VCs at the moment, it's possible, of course, to raise money, but it comes at a price. And raising money from Media for Equity is just a lovely partnership, I like to call it, because it's in the interest of TV channels that we succeed, and of course it's in our interest to get the best deals in TV. So we haven't announced yet anything officially, but we are on the way of closing a round with currently more than 4 million euros in commitment, involving some 2 big TV channels that we are quite proud to have on board. So this is where we stand. So currently we have 2 million people using the platform and quite some nice numbers, but of course really small on our whole big picture and whole goals. And then the next tier, which is still a lot of things to do, but is create a super travel platform that is global and that users from anywhere in the world are using. So that's still a lot of work in progress. To keep it short, this is the team that has been building this. So it's a small team based in Denmark and with people from all around the world. And join us in this journey as a traveler, as an investor, as a media partner, because I think it's going to be a quite exciting one. Thank you so much.
Finishing on a high note. Thank you, Andre. Yeah, really exciting how fast things have actually evolved in the last 6 months, I think. We finished in November, the program. We're now in June, so just over 6 months. I'm mindful of the time, so I'm moving on to the next speaker, a very important one as well. I would now like to pass the mic to Vinay, founder at Channel 4 Ventures and one of our program partners. But first, to thank him for hosting us this year. And Channel 4 is the first UK broadcaster to launch and consistently scale this model in the UK. So please welcome Vinay. No pressure.
Hello. I do have more than one outfit. Okay, so I just want to say, all right, so I have plenty of fabric detergent and people to wash, okay? It is clean, all right? So, look, so this is quite a surprise for me, so I'm not going to talk about, there's some brilliant analysis there. I very much agree with Altair's perspectives that we can help startups, but I think I'm more talk about this ecosystem of what is being built here, and a little bit of the story of my own personal story. So, like when we started in Channel 4, it was like 2015. We had one employee, which was me, and and to be honest, kind of look here, and we have this idea in my team where we talk about like future stories, and we talk about like, I'm looking at John here, so like, but like this idea that you visualize what the future could be with this model, and actually I did an exercise like that, where I said that this is what it looks like, here's a problem we're going to solve, and to be honest though, I would have never have, this is a surprise, so we'll talk about surprises here. So it's a surprise to see this come together, and I've had many chats with Dan on the way, and I know just how hard it is to put these groups together, and I've worked very hard with many media companies like ProSieben and TFM, and it's not straightforward, I'd say, right? So as you know, right? And I think but I have to say this is quite surprising, and then like it's and we've done quite a lot of deals now. We've done like this is not a good surprise. I'm going to talk a bit about Channel 4, which is like corporate bit. So like we've done like 60 deals. We've got like 30 assets in the portfolio. We're stage agnostic. I think like I'm genuinely surprised by how many deals we're doing, and it's a really interesting job. And I think fundamentally we're solving problems for companies. I think the other thing that really surprised me, actually, like if I look at that journey, is that there was a massive bull run. Yeah, remember that? Like so, like in the investment market. So that was kind of like the anticipation of like industrial revolutions taking place. I'll come back onto that because it's a serious point here. But did it surprise anyone that we had a bust?
Yeah.
It didn't surprise me, right? So that kind of behavior of like, we've seen that time and again, like, and the reasons for that are investors love money. And if you were lucky enough to come into the very first industrial revolution, you were probably living in Silicon Valley, in the original Silicon Valley, when they were actually making microchips. And in that time, if it was 1975, I think, right? If you invested in 1975 and you made some money, you probably had some money, right? In 1982, when you could invest in microprocessors and computers, and then phones, and the mobile phone, and then the internet, and then Facebook, right? Imagine what 40 years of outlying returns does to your brain, right? So if you've made that money. And I think that gets into a fundamental problem where media has plays a role. So media is cultural capital. This is the conversation and it links to what RTL is saying. We hold the mirror to our nations. When Channel 4 is a government-owned country, and I'm looking at ITV over here, without that Postman show, right, you wouldn't have had a national conversation. But that issue was reported on, when was it reported? 5 years before, right? Just bubbling around, right? So the role that media has, and then people talk about Gen Z, and Gen Z has, of course their behaviors are different, but you cannot target people, raise awareness without, anything other than very fragmented channels, often very expensive. And I think a lot about the role, when I think about the surprise of this group coming together, is if you think about the downturn that's taken place, is because investors are chasing outsized industrial returns to the detriment of what I think Britain is good at. So this is not political. I know it's been recorded, but Britain and a place like London is the home of world-class universities, design, world-class research, brilliant capital, brilliant talent, net exporter of music. It's all happening here, and that makes us world-class actually, and with greatest respect to our European colleagues here, right? But it gives us an edge, and I think that unless the media companies can come in and step in actually and support companies around the media channels, and so it's quite a proud mission. I think we all have here, and we're going to be doing a ton more deals. So I think that was all I was going to say. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Vinay. I'm actually not surprised. I think 2 years ago, I was listening to what you said, and it's a surprise that we're all here in this format. But 2 years when I started, I spoke to, I think, every single media company, and the first reaction was, this is never going to happen. You're not going to be able to pull this off, right? We remember those days when we talked, because and here we are. And I think one reason is that I think time and time again, when we look at, it's such an innovative model. When you look at the likes of Aggregate or even German media for stuff that are happening in the US, it's usually when more media companies come together and offer a much diverse stack, right, of media or companies. And I think one of the points just to stress out, even in the UK, although we don't have that concept of independent model, I think what we're going to start hopefully seeing more and more is having more partners coming together in a syndicated round and making sure that the media is strategically invested in that brand. But yeah, you stir something in me. Thank you so much for that speech. I'm just gonna wrap up with all the other partners, because there's a lot more media partners, including ITV, that have supported this program. And I would like to say massive thank you to all of them, to Tom and Callum for overseeing ITV Adventures Ignite and ITV Adventures Invest, and for the time, to Brandon. I saw you. You're here. Yes, Investment Director at UKTV Ventures, the venture arm of UKTV. To Taos, Rachel and Manuel at DMG Ventures, the Daily Mail, the venture capital arm of the Daily Mail and General Trust. To Jay Sadeko, to Joe, to Stella, to Louise from the Nurture team, which is the Jay Sadeko startup program. And also to say that part of the reason we also call it Media for Growth, and I don't often refer to it as Media for Equity, apart from the fact that it sounds highly transactional, it's not just Media for Equity, it's not just dilutive funding. So Jay Sadeko is doing match funding, the same as ITV Ignite, supports companies match their funding. To Nico, Dennis, and Alyosha at German Media Pool, to Zoe, who is head of training at ThinkBox, and their brilliant studies that they run on TV advertising. To Ben, Tom, and Johnny at Element Communications, who delivered a brilliant PR workshop yesterday for us. To Charlie, founder of the Outfit Creative Agency. Lucas, for sharing his branding expertise, having spent over 20 years at leading roles in Kazoo and a lot of FMCG brands like Haagen-Dazs, Heineken, Pepsi. And I hope I didn't miss anyone. But the point is there were a lot of amazing people that made this program happen. And of course to Maria, my colleague, for putting up with long, crazy hours and keeping us on track for the last 4 weeks. Now, I think we got to the exciting bit, to hear some presentations. And one thing I wanted to, and I'm not going to go too much into detail, I'll try to summarize it, although a lot of work has actually gone into selecting the 9 companies you're going to see today. But we've screened over 500 companies and performed diligence on 76 of them. Now, we not only focus on the UK market. I think what's really important is to actually open up this market to other European brands or US companies that are planning to enter the UK, and not to underestimate how difficult it is to build a brand internationally, as Chris was saying earlier as well. Now, how we got to these numbers and all the different sectors, and I'll give you the short story, is that we focus on core markets such as UK, France, the DACH region, Nordics, and Spain. Selected the top 3 best performing sector based on 3 variables: the advertising spending in that sector, the compound annual growth rate, and what's the projected advertising spend that we're going to see in that sector in the next years. And inside these sectors, we looked at identifying new behaviors or perhaps subcategories that are coming into prominence in 2024 or the next years. But also, having these discussions with the media companies, we wanted to understand where they are in terms of their revenue spending, in terms of advertising spending as part of their revenue growth. Because it's usually a company that reaches about 30-40% of their revenue when I think thinking about media capital, especially at a seed stage or late seed stage, it does make more sense. Now, all of this to be able to funnel down to 9 companies. And on that note, I would like to introduce Ing, CEO and founder at Nimble, to tell us a bit about Nimble and the products. Please welcome. I'll do that.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, you don't need a clicker. You got 1 slide.
3 slides. Okay. Hello, everyone. How many of you in the audience are parents? Wow, that's a big percentage. Okay.
Here's your audience.
Sorry?
This is your audience.
This is the audience. How many of you have had sleepless nights before a big presentation because your baby was crying all night long? Oh, aren't it? How many of you feel so helpless when your child is scratching his skin, it's bleeding because of this itchy skin or eczema condition? Yep, wow, okay, there are a few. How many of you feel so judged by the society for being a parent? And how many of you feel so inadequate and feeling like you're failing as a parent? And that's why we exist. Most of us at Nimble are not just marketers and scientists. We are parents. We understand how complicated modern parenthood can be. And we are doing our bit to make it lighter and make your days brighter. We want to liberate parents from the mundane so you can focus on the joy of parenthood. Unleash joy in every moment. So, how many of you have heard of Nimble? Okay, I'm surprised. That's because you are all in all promo products too. But I must say, I think Nimble must be the best kept British secret. We've been around for 7 years now. Boots, Sainsbury's, Dragon's Den, and Tesco were still a small brand with limited brand awareness. Why is that? We think there are 3 key reasons. One is that we actually created a new category. Now, there are no plant-based, child-friendly cleaning products out there. Our founder, OVUM, had to actually create a new category for his own children. Even as of today, we're still the only one who makes something like a bleach-free potty cleaner, a patented plant-based baby bottle cleaner. Our laundry detergent has only 13 ingredients, where e-cover has 30. And this is so safe for babies, and it's also amazing for adults with sensitive skin. And we know 40% of the UK population, adults and children, have sensitive skin because of the hard water. So this product actually has what's called water softening technology. It neutralizes the minerals in the water so that it doesn't strip your, the protective layer and irritates your skin. And second reason why we think that we're still such a small brand is because retailers don't know what to do with us. We're stuck in the baby aisle, actually in the sterilizer bay together with baby accessories. This product is the only one that belongs there, a hand sanitizer. That's why this one has a really high rate of sale. That's really well. Shoppers don't go to a sterilizer bay buying a £10 premium product that looks like this. So that's a complete mismatch of location. Thirdly, as we know, as a challenger brand, you just don't have the budget to build that brand awareness nationwide. So, why am I here? I'm the CEO of Nimble. I took the job mid last year because our founder, Vaughn, is exhausted. Not that he's a father. Have you been there? And I'm an investor turned entrepreneur. Nimble is my passion project. I believe that parents are better supported, our children are better cared for, and our planet is a better place with Nimble around. So my mandate is to transform Nimble to be a household name, a plant-based destination brand for parents. We will focus on 3 areas in the next 12 months. One is to launch a big campaign to tell parents why we exist, who we are, and how we can support them. The second area is to drive conversion via endorsement by celebrities, by experts, by influencers, and by everyday parents like yourselves. And lastly, we want to launch our personal care range for children and also the pet care range. This is all to happen in the next 12 months. We cannot do it alone. They say it takes a village to raise a child. We say it takes a whole community to foster a challenger brand. So join us as an investor, as a business partner, as a expert marketer, a fellow parent, an ambassador, and a cheerleader. Together, we can transform parenthood into an unburdened journey of joy and discovery. Let's make every moment with our children count with Nimble. So, a bit of cheeky advertising. We're actually 30% off in Tesco online and in Tesco Super and Tesco Extra until June the 11th. Try Nimble in Tesco. And we also have a raffle prize for to give away a set of 6 products. They don't look like this yet. Those are the new labels coming out in September. We're giving you the existing artwork, and Diana will announce that in the next
half an hour.
So
yeah,
yes, so
very soon.
Just make sure you drop your contact details or card, or we have a card there to fit it into that bag, wherever that bag is.
At the reception, we'll get it. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I really like what you said about liberating parents from the mundane and keeping our homes clean. We're now shifting from that to making them green and transitioning to a carbon-free energy system. Unfortunately, Boulder couldn't be here with us. And I actually just remember, I forgot to mention that this time around, this program, I believe 50% or 40% of the founders are actually non-UK-based companies. So we have companies from, they're based in Lithuania, although it's a UK-registered company. We've got companies from Switzerland, coming from Sweden, Germany, Spain, Romania, of course. Yeah, I should probably remember that one. So I'm basically going to fill in for Madi, who couldn't travel here today from Lithuania. And just to say a few words about Boulder, and anyone that is interested in any of the companies that you see here today, some of them that couldn't make it in person, please come to us, talk to us, and we'll make sure that we share their presentations with you. Now, Boulder, I'm going to play a short video in the background, and I'll talk you through. They empower homes to reduce energy consumption while they connect households to the energy grid. And they achieve this through a couple of products that are very easy to install, energy-saving and connected products. You might think of Google Nest, so they are basically in that category. They do have 2 core products. One is Klima, which you're basically looking at right now. It's a wireless smart thermostat, and Kevin, which is a smart electric heater. Now, all of these 2 products and the future ones that will come are underpinned by an energy management platform that helps us consumers reduce energy consumption and optimize the home participation in the grid. Now, I can obviously speak probably on my behalf why we are excited by Boulder and, of course, why we work with them in the program. And for me, it kind of boils down to 3 main things. 1, the size of the market. The global renewable energy market, it's a $900 billion market that is actually forecasted to grow to $3 trillion by 2031. Even if they're carving out a niche of that market, I think that can be a very powerful and householding brand. And also helping us transition to a carbon-free energy system, which is extremely important. The second one, it's actually, if you think about it, the unit economics. When was the last time that you changed your heater and cooling units? It's probably something that we change over 10, 15 years, and it results in minimal churn with a high LTV of about $4,000 per customer for a cost per acquisition of approximately $120. And the third one, it's a scalable model, because it's not just the core products that you're buying, and it's not just about retaining customers over the long lifespan of their heating and cooling units, but also it facilitates ongoing engagement and revenue generation through maintaining them and repairing or other notifications. So that's Boulder in a nutshell. I probably butchered his speech. I hope he doesn't see this video. We tried our best. But again, I wanted you to be completely exposed to all the programs to all the startups that we had in the program. And now, we're moving to Nordensa, which is just in time for the start of the European Football Championship.
Thank you.
Right, so the answer to this question, to my surprise, is football. Who would have think football of all things? Because as a humankind, we cannot agree on anything. But somehow 5 billion people agreed that they love this silly little thing. Now, the problem with football is that we all get this remote control, but we barely have any control. So the problem we're trying to solve is that football fans don't get the right to own anything in football. Your only right as a football fan is to spend money. Your whole life. Spending money on tickets and merch and hot dogs and NFTs and everything. And then when it asks to have a little slice of this pie, shoot, the answer is always no. So we thought, what if we solved this problem? So we created the only app that turns football fans into football investors literally in seconds. Now, welcome to Nordensa and power to the fans. Because what Nordensa is doing is allowing people to invest as little as 30 euros in young, talented football players from developing countries. We bring them to Europe, we give them a chance to start a professional career, and fans get to own 8% of their income for the next 5 years. It's a fair deal. We ran the numbers every possible way. It's a fair deal for the fans. It's a fair deal for the athletes. Now, what was done in the last year since we launched the product? First of all, we launched on iPhone, Android, and web. We listed 5 players as a test. We funded 5 players. We listed another 3 and another 4 are coming. We were playing with some small marketing campaigns, but now we're ready to go big. The second thing we've been working on is the value proposition. And what we realized is that there's a whole bunch of unicorns in this category, but they all share one thing. They're all fantasy. They're selling you fantasy, and it still works. It still works because that's how hungry football fans are to have a slice of the pie and have a voice in football. Now, if you look at SoRare, they are doing an amazing job reinventing the fantasy football games with NFTs, and they are making a lot of money doing that. Socios allow fans to vote for stuff. And you think that's a bit silly, voting for the second kit of your favorite team, but people pay actual money to do that out of their pocket, just to have their voice heard. 200 million euro per year worth of stealing. That's how powerful this segment is. But unlike these players and all the other players in the category, Nordensa is bringing something real to the market. Because instead of owning a picture of a player, which literally is what an NFT is, you're owning a slice of player's income. It's the real thing. So, meantime, we started writing a bit of football history because this gentleman here is the first ever football player funded and transferred by football fans on the platform. So we got quite a lot of visibility because of this. So we started signing partnerships with clubs such as Burnley FC, Real Zaragoza, Standard Liège, the champions of Japan, Kawasaki Frontale. So the project is growing really nicely, and we're also getting the media excited about the project. We got more than 100 appearances, and we never pay for PR, which is pretty cool, as long as it lasts. And then also got the football industry excited, because that was my main concern. What if we're building something that the football industry hates? And they don't. They are really excited about it. So, for example, this guy, who was the former head of football from Arsenal and Barca, he said, guys, if you find me a club president who would refuse a partnership with Nordensa, basically refuse your free stellar scouting, please, I want to meet that guy. Just want to understand why would anyone refuse that. So he walked the talk and signed.
Please go investor question. What's the tax treat?
What is that?
Tax. Is it tax free? Like,
not really. No.
Sorry, it's not that. So
Can you bring any?
Another thing that was really important, because the imposter syndrome kicked in pretty early, because I'm not in the football industry, So I kind of had to bring in people who know what they're doing. So this is the former head of legal from the European Clubs Association, previously Barcelona FC. These guys are big scouting experts from Porto FC. This guy is the former chief scout of Bayern Munich. We have this guy from Facebook London, and my expertise is in marketing, so nothing to do with football whatsoever, other than I played Championship Manager for too long. But I guess all of you did, so that doesn't qualify me for anything. So I had to build this team because this needs to disrupt an industry that is incredibly conservative. You wouldn't believe it, but it's more conservative than mining. Mining is advanced. And then also we spent some time raising money, and we raised our seed round and also established this amazing board of advisors with Alan Pace, the owner of Burnley FC, Chris Kay, the former CEO of such and such worldwide, and a bunch of other smart dudes that you can meet if you want. The most important bit is what's next. So what's next is, first of all, we want to add some new experiences in the app. Because right now you can download the app and you see that it looks kind of like an investment thing right now, and we want to make it more fun. The second thing, this is one of the top 10 biggest players in the world right now, and he's going to transfer most probably to Chelsea or Arsenal next week. So let's see where. But this guy accepted to be our brand ambassador, and I met him in Napoli. He loved the project, and that's really big for us because, again, there are 1 million players literally in the world, and this guy is one of the top 10. And that's a big deal for us. Another thing we want to do is we want to start listing football clubs and football academies, not just football players. So we are diversifying the type of assets we list so that football fans can invest in more stuff. We also want to go global, and US is a particularly interesting market for us because they will end up hosting the World Cup, and the football industry is growing massively there. Also, we have 5 revenue streams that we are in testing currently. I can tell you about it separately if you want. And ultimately, we are launching Nordensa, the show. Nordensa, the show, it's going to be piloted with The Zone, which is kind of the Netflix of sports, and will basically follow the story of Nordensa athletes on their way from their home country to England. And that will be the first season, and this is almost ready to start. We are raising a bridge round. We raised seed. We are preparing for a Series A early next year. So this bridge round will help us to do those 5 things that I just mentioned. That's it. Power to the fans. Thank you. Good.
Thank you, Adrian. And Adrian is joining us from Romania this evening, so thank you so much for coming. We're now moving to Edmunds, and that's also a reminder that we're getting closer and closer to those cocktails and drinks. Yes.
Hello, everyone. So I'm going from solving like a few problems like sensitive skin to another big problem, good quality bottled cocktails. So I'm Tom, and I'm from Edmunds Cocktails, and basically we were born with a clear purpose to help everyone serve perfect cocktails quickly, easily, and consistently without sacrificing on quality or taste. So in essence, we make bar quality cocktails that anyone can have anywhere. So whether you're in a hotel room, whether you're drinking at home, or you're running a bar, basically. So since launching the business in 2019, we've had some pretty good revenues. Our revenue to date is 4.1 million, with just 215k investment, which we raised last year. And so far, our annual run rate is actually at 1.82 million, so we're growing nicely. We've got an incredible team of people in the office, headed up by my brother and my co-founder, and we're currently making over 15,000 cocktails every single week with our own machinery in our own office. And we're fortunate enough to say we've got over 500 stockists in the UK, and that's kind of like farm shops, pubs, bars, restaurants, delis, etc. So why cocktails? My background is in the spirits industry and the beer industry, so I've worked in bars since I was probably a bit too young at 16. And so properly when I was 18, and then I was with Bacardi Brown-Forman, Carlsberg, Heineken, specifically working in sales in the on-trade. It was actually when I was with a customer, and this customer was complaining to me about not having the bar staff to make cocktails, and people were requesting them and they weren't able to do it. At the time, I figured there must be a product out there that kind of solves this need. So something that would allow them to serve cocktails quickly, consistently, without needing to train their staff. After a lot of searching, I found out there actually wasn't really anything available. Everything out there, like kind of the cans you can see in the picture here, were low quality ingredients. They were chemically engineered drinks. They were made using artificial ingredients, artificial colors, neutral grain spirits, and they weren't really a proper cocktail. They kind of had the ABV of a beer, the viscosity of a Pepsi, something you would drink from a can on the train that was meant to taste like a cocktail but wasn't actually one. So our kind of idea was pretty simple, to be honest, and it was pretty easy to do. So all we had to do was just find cocktail recipes, work out how to make them taste the best they can, use the best ingredients we can. So we use sapling vodka, Arroyo tequila, fair drinks, etc. Put it all together, put it in a bottle, work out how to make it last. That was the difficult bit that we outsourced to scientists because I definitely couldn't do that bit. And then we kind of came up with the idea. So they're full strength. They all need shaking like they would do if you were making them properly. So you either stir them, shake them, and that kind of gives you the viscosity, the mouthfeel. We even provide the garnishes, etc. So what we're doing, instead of like a canned cocktail, we kind of sit in the middle. So you're not drinking it from the can, but you're not having to make it fresh, but you do still get the theatre and the experience of making a cocktail. And we even provide the garnish. We encourage people to put it in a proper cocktail glass, etc. So we now have a core range of 13 cocktails, including the highest rated Bloody Mary internationally by the IWSC. Every single one of them is made to the exact same kind of strength that you would do if you're making it fresh. So they range from sort of 13%, anything up to 24%. And the way you can probably tell if a cocktail is, or a brand of cocktails are doing it properly, is if all of their cocktails are the same ABV. It's obviously not how it's meant to be, because vodka, like the mix and the ratios of the liqueurs and the spirits, is always going to be different. So like the old fashioned, for example, is 23%, and that's pretty much all whiskey with like a little bit of like, it sits in orange peel, for example, overnight, a little bit of sugarcane syrup. The espresso martini is like sapling vodka, fair drinks is cafe liqueur, sugarcane syrup. And we use sugarcane syrup instead of like sweeteners or granulated sugar because it actually like improves the viscosity. If we were just using sugar or granulated sugar, for example, it would just come out like a flat espresso martini, which is what kind of mistake a lot of people make at home. If they're making an espresso martini, they'll put a tablespoon of, not salt, sugar in, and then it kind of comes out flat, and people kind of wonder why it hasn't worked. So a little bit about us. So like I said, my background is in the industry, and I'd kind of always wanted to start my own company. I needed someone to run the company with me, and my brother absolutely hated his job at the time. So he kind of came on board pretty early, so he's my co-founder. And then we kind of started quite organically. So we were making the cocktails in my kitchen through a tiny little funnel. And then we converted my brother's double garage that he'd just bought. His wife, Beth, who actually was our first employee, was extremely patient with us. We kind of outgrew that place pretty quickly and eventually turned their kitchen into an office as well, kind of permanently. And then we kind of went from there. So my kitchen to a converted garage. We moved into like an 800 square foot unit, and that's where my dad joined the team. And that's the three of us. Yeah, people say we look quite similar, but I'm not sure. I hope I don't smile like my dad when I'm that age. Yeah, and then so he joined us as well. So he was actually close to retiring. He's now kind of our picker and packer. He's the hardest worker I know, so we're getting an absolute bargain with him on board. And then, yeah, like I say, my brother's wife, and then we moved from the 800 square foot unit to a 2,000 square foot unit. And now we kind of had to knock down a wall. We've got 3,000 square feet. We've gone from using a tiny little funnel, kind of producing 20, 40 cocktails a day, to making over 15,000 cocktails a week now with the team in the office, like I said. And we've kind of got automated machinery to help with kind of some of it. And yeah, sustainability is also at our core. I imagine as founders here, it's so difficult to start a business at the same time as trying to be kind of like eco-friendly or eco-conscious, because you kind of almost have to get to a certain scale to be able to do it, unless you're kind of backed quite heavily from the beginning. And I think I can see loads of people nodding, so that I can tell that it's kind of a problem. So from the beginning, we decided like our end goal is to be like, fully recycled packaging, etc. But we launched during COVID, so trying to find cardboard, trying to find glass. I think I've said to a few people, but my Tesco Club card points were insane for the first kind of year. I got to go on holiday at the end of it for free. So yeah, we plant a tree for every litre, bottle or box of sticks sold. And we're proud to say we're kind of one of Ecology's top 100 business supporters now, and we've planted over 150,000 trees, which we're pretty proud of. And we've got kind of things in the pipeline to have fully recycled boxes, fully recycled glassware, etc. And that's kind of us. Next steps for us, kind of obviously like everyone here, we're raising capital. We are trying to kind of like grow the commercial team, trying to kind of conquer the UK market, and just trying to get the brand out there, basically. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. I bet you're probably that friend that gets invited to all parties. All right, we're moving to unBlock and bringing the WeChat concept to Western Europe. This is a clicker. Yeah, and that's the mic.
So, Binay, follow on with your pitching. You are looking for the next huge business model. This is the one.
This conversation private.
No, I'm changing all my pitching now. And Christophe, you are watching. You are looking for the next huge company for the paid money. We are. So, what are you looking for in your daily life? Normally, easy tools, easy things, the faster way to use everything in the city. You are looking for technological tools that give to you the most comfortable way to stay in every place in the city and to use everything. This is the SuperApp content, and this is that we are saying to you today. It's very easy to understand. If I'm asking to you, if you prefer to use maybe 10 or 15 applications to complete forms, to waitings, to queues, and all these steps very sad for all people, the answer is very, very easy. All people want only one application. This is that I'm saying to you here, and you are going to be able to pay, to buy, to access, or to use every kind of public or private services in the city, any products, anything. So watch the next video and you understand a bit better that we are selling to you.
Forget everything you've heard about applications for mobility, payments, events, plans, or tourist information and experiences. All city services in on app. The super app that makes your life easier in your daily life. Comfortable, simple, and polyvalent. Universal fast check-in using your digital identity. Avoid queues, registrations, and forms. unBlock Pay. You can pay, buy, reserve anywhere in the city quickly and securely. Smart mobility. Use any means of transport? Yeah. Smart events. You can access any product, event, or service in your city. AI virtual assistant. Suggestions on the ideal tourist experience for you. Social network. Chat, event streaming, content creators, live e-commerce. And furthermore, secure ticketing, routes, tourist experiences, loyalty cards, digital citizen ID, and much more. Stop experimenting, simplify. The Smarticity platform that breaks the rules. All features based on pay-per-use. unBlock, the smart face of the city.
What we are for the users, this is the most comfortable way to be in the city. It's not about if you are tourist or resident, if you're in the own city or in other cities. We are going to give you the better and personalized user experience in everywhere. So what we are for the B2B, the content, this is the key about the business model. We are a direct-to-customer channel without any technological cost and without commission. We are not commissionist. It's meaning all providers about products, services, or everything are going to win, to profit more money from the first sale, because this is a win-win business model. We have the technology, we offer the free technology for all of them. This is the strategic of the huge company, give to you the free technology and you are the product. We are using this content, and we are offering the free technology from all the city. and they are going to upload the content. It's very easy. We are not offering any different tool that they are using in their life or in their businesses usually. It's like the marketplace concept, but with a huge advantage. And what we are from the B2G, because we are B2G, B2B, and B2C. For the B2G, we are the solution for the last mile about the smart city projects and smart tourist destination projects, because all cities, regions, and countries are failing in the last mile. Why? Because they are trying to resolve about buying technology, and they are very slow, and when they finish the project, it's late, always. And we are offering to them exactly the same like B2B, the technology totally free, and they are going to switch on the services, their products, or everything in the city. So this is the reason. We are now the project selected by the European Union to implement the new digital identity based on blockchain in the Murcia city, it's a city in Spain, and some other cities, not only in Spain, in other countries, are demanding from us our service because we are right. And then this is our main global partners, Telefónica Tech, Visa, and Adyen. And our business model is coming from the pay-per-use business model. Our mission is you are using the application for anything. Our mission is you spend time inside the application. Every time you do click in the application, we are profit money from some of these channels, from paid media, from FinTech, from digital identity, from the data we are collecting from you, or from the social network business model. So, which is the average revenue per user per year? This is the low, the minimum. Because if we are comparing, for example, with WeChat or Kaspi in Kazakhstan, or some of them, they are approximately 2 or 3 years later, and €70 per year. We have the opportunity to grow a lot of. So this is the reason we have a huge grant signed with Visa. They are to support our business model in the next 5 years with €10 million. And this is the reason the government from Abu Dhabi signed an official contract with us to deploy our services there. It's not about money. It's about we are right. They have all money, but it's impossible to offer this kind of user experience to the final users. And we win the Travel Tech Lab in the Mobile Congress, where we met Diana. Thanks. This is the reason I'm here. And we are not new. We raised it till now 3.3 million, and we are looking for 5 million now. Why? Because we want to spend in media. It's very important. And because we have a huge opportunity. Next, you are going to watch the places around the world where we have now open opportunity with official agreements with the governments, with the cities, or with the regions to be there. So now, for investor, take the mobile, please scan the QR. All with the green card, please. You, all people, please. And later, you can prove here in the real user experience what we are talking about. And we are very happy to be here and to send to you every kind of info that you have that you need. So thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a very lively pitch. Thank you. We're now moving to brew, which is going to be, you're going to have a very difficult job to try to teach British people to make the perfect cuppa. Good luck.
Thank you so much. I'm very humble for that task. So hi, I'm Philip Karlberg. I'm from Sweden, and today is actually the Swedish National Day. So. Woo! Score! Over to Brew, which is actually founded in Switzerland, where we have developed a solution to make the perfect cup of tea. Exactly. Quick summary, it's an espresso-style subscription model where we have developed and patented the device that allows you to make the perfect cup of tea at the push of a button. Any kind of tea, loose leaf, tea bag, herbs, fresh fruits, you name it. We have some great traction and are moving forward very nicely. The problem we are tackling is that it takes your time and your attention. It's not convenient to make a cup of tea. It's also difficult to make it with a consistent quality, especially if you talk about more high quality premium teas. And finally, I'm sorry to say, but the kettle is very wasteful. You're boiling more water than you need, which is wasting a lot of energy heating up all that water. We solved that with the Brew ecosystem, which is our machine that we have developed and patented that allows you to brew any kind of tea at the push of a button. It's connected to our own app where we collect consumer insights on their tea drinking behavior that allows us to sell tea and functional infusions. These markets are massive, both functional infusions, tea, and devices used to make tea are all growing very nicely. So we have a great opportunity here to take a piece of this market. We actually started 4 years ago by doing a crowdfunding project where we quickly pre-sold more than 10,000 machines, and we kind of validated our idea. We did have some delays due to COVID, but we launched sales beginning of 2023. And right now we're in the middle of expanding into new markets across Europe, UK within a few weeks, US later this year. We couldn't have done this without our amazing team. We are 2 founders. Bogdan is the inventor of our tea machine. He's a passionate tea drinker and a serial entrepreneur. I myself is kind of a marketing and sales nerd coming from the beverage industry, and together with some amazing advisors and accelerators that we have been through, we're making this happen. Moving forward, or let's start with a step back. We have raised 1.1 million euros on a convertible note, and now we're looking at opening up a bigger round, target to raise 2.5 million euros, and this will be used to supercharge our growth and enter new markets, including the UK very soon and US later this year, as mentioned. That's all from me. Now, I actually have to run to get to the airport because I had a change of flight. So I would love to speak to all of you. So please reach out to me, and I'm happy to discuss more. Have a great evening, and make a toast tonight for Sweden.
It's a film. Well, happy Sweden Day. I hope you catch the flight. If not, you're going to find us here. You're welcome to come back. Now, we're moving to OVUM. Now, Jenny has a very important reason for not being here, and that's that she just had a baby last week. So although knowing Jenny, she's probably already like somewhere listening and she's already online on her emails. But we asked her to record a video for us and to explain to you what OVUM does and the problem they are solving. Let's hear it.
We're OVUM, becoming the trusted one-stop shop for all things fertility, and will demonstrate improved fertility outcomes using our products and services. I'm Jenny, founder of OVUM, a lawyer and professional endurance athlete. Here I am attempting to break the world record for the fastest solo ski across Antarctica, or 44 days of fun in the snow. I faced everything you might expect in attempting this, from skiing 16-hour days, navigating crevasses, minus 50 Celsius temperatures, and even an injury that split my leg open and left me to drag it for the last 80 miles. But nothing of that experience, physical or mental, compared to what it was like to try and conceive. Upon my return, I started an MBA which was cancelled due to COVID. I was experiencing my own fertility struggles, and my 2 friends are IVF doctors, so we teamed up. It became clear the woman trying to conceive deserves better at both the products and services available. So, meet OVUM, my replacement MBA. Infertility is behind one of the biggest global health problems of the 21st century. Patients seek to maximize their chances of conception and are demanding better quality products and services. The marketing tactics and scientific unreliability of current offerings mean a lack of trusted fertility care. So, with the dearth of innovation in the sector, it's time for disruption. Today we launched 2 products in our roadmap, a patented preconception food supplement focused on improving egg quality, now listed on patient protocols in 22 IVF clinics, and the first fully recyclable pregnancy test launched into 350 Sainsbury's stores last month. Our broader mission is to bring our customers with us from the physical products they use on their journey to offering them AI-led IVF treatment with success rates north of 50%. But today we're raising for the next part of the OVUM story. We've had no CAC to date, and we just hit 1.1 million in ARR. We're in advanced discussions with major retailers and pharmacy distribution networks. The Department of Trade recently identified us as one of the 15 most innovative UK FemTech startups, and we received a year-long funded program to help us launch there, and we have our FDA product approvals in place. We have partnerships with global fertility brands, and we're ready to roll out various B2B offerings. We're a full-time team of 2 alongside our 2 OVUM doctors. We just launched our seed round looking to raise 480,000, and we're looking to connect with early-stage VCs, family offices and angels who want to join us in revolutionising fertility care. Thank you.
As Jenny, there were a couple of other founders that couldn't be here today, and Philip just had to leave. So again, if anyone is interested in speaking to any of the companies, please come to Aria or myself, and I'll make sure that you reach them. We're down to the last 2 presentations, and we're now switching to coffee. Maybe we can make an espresso martini, Richard. Welcome, Richard. Queen's coffee. Okay? Just the white one. Yeah.
Thank you for having us. It's timely actually that I'm on the stage tonight because about 9 months ago we did some filming for the Channel 4 show Double the Money. It's the final tonight, so we're waiting to see whether we feature. So my wife and children at home tonight shooting into that 8 o'clock. Okay, Beans Coffee Club. So as we know, coffee is... Coffee is massive. So 80% of the households in the UK buy coffee products. There's 98 million cups of coffee a day in the UK. The majority of that is still instant coffee. I think 75% of the products are still an instant coffee product. But specialty coffee is growing year on year. It's worth about 500 million direct-to-consumer fresh coffee at the moment, and another 500 million for the brewing equipment. So it's a current £1 billion addressable market. People are looking for a better coffee experience. So the UK as a market lags behind areas like Australia, the US and Finland in terms of the adoption of specialty coffee, but it is catching up rapidly. If you think about the rise of black sheep cafes, you've also got, who else we got? Watch House just raised £7 million, Origin have just raised £3 million. People are looking for a better cup of coffee, and people are looking for better coffee at home. So there's 500,000 home espresso machines sold each year. But for the people looking to enjoy a better cup of coffee at home, it's confusing. So there are over 600 independent coffee roasters in the UK. Knowing which of their coffees suit your taste is actually really difficult and time-consuming for people that don't want to spend hours researching things. And specialty coffee is complex and unnecessarily confusing. Does anybody actually know what the tasting notes mean on the back of a pack? So Beans Coffee Club is the UK's leading multi-roaster fresh coffee marketplace. We have over 25 roasters. We have 125 coffees on the site. We only handpick the best independent roasters to work with. We take the guesswork out of knowing which coffees suit your taste with our unique technology. So we've invested over 300,000 in our proprietary tech. So you take the quiz, you answer 7 quick questions, and we create a bespoke selection of coffees for you to try. Every coffee is freshly roasted. It's shipped direct from the roasters for the ultimate fresh experience. For our discovery subscriptions, we have unique packaging, which makes everything super convenient and a consistent experience, which is really important to the mass market audiences. And we reward our members for every purchase. Our mission is to help people enjoy better coffee at home, and we do this in a number of ways, which I've just talked about. So, as I said, we're a fresh coffee marketplace, and rather than talking through this, I'll give you a little bit of an explanation about how people use the site. So people might find us through a brand partnership. If you buy a single bag of coffee, you can then take out a subscription where you're getting a different coffee every time, but you get complete management over how you manage your account. So if you find a coffee that you really love, you can pause that, and you can then go and buy that coffee on its own. You can subscribe to a coffee at any frequency you like. and you can buy all the equipment that you need to enjoy coffee at home. So our unique tech kind of underpins our value as a business, and our account management is really kind of market leading in the sector. We work with the best independent businesses, so really the discovery of the roasters is as important as trying the coffees themselves. So we only work with the best roasters, and we ensure that we're paying a fair price to everybody within the value chain. So supporting multiple businesses is key to what we do at Beans Coffee Tub. We position ourselves as the trusted voice of the fresh coffee industry. So we really kind of are the coffee experts. So we can speak as a voice of the industry as a whole, due to the amount of roasters we work with, and the amount of brands that we have within our coffee equipment as well. So we're ready to accelerate. So we are a middleman business. So we don't have to hold stock or invest in stock in order to accelerate our growth. So we've got the platform, we've got the proposition, we've got the brand and the experience, and we're really ready to kind of go to a much broader market. We've got a lot of untapped marketing opportunities. We've recently hired James Taylor from Beer 52 to help with our acquisition support as well. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, and your notes. I'll give them back to you later. No worries, no worries. We're down to the final presentation. Unfortunately, Julian couldn't be here with us today. He emailed us this morning being in bed with fever, and yet he recorded this video for us. It's going to be a bit of a noisy video, but let's hear it. And then I'll come back and we'll wrap up and we'll go for drinks.
Hello to London, everyone. I hope you're having a great time at the event. Unfortunately, I got sick and need to record this pitch from Munich today. So yeah, my name is Julian. I'm one of the founders of Happy Ocean Foods, and we are a food tech startup based in Munich. We founded Happy Ocean Foods because there are three major problems in the fish and seafood industry. One problem is resources. So 33% of the oceans are already overfished and 60% are endangered. Then there's this problem of climate. The whole industry causes as much as emissions as the aviation industry. And as for the health, microplastic can be found in every second fish today. Therefore, we are on a mission to restore the ecological balance in our oceans, the oceans. And as you can see, there's huge market potential for the alternative protein market as well as the alternative fish market. So meat and dairy are comparable grown-ups, and the fish market is in its early stages here in Germany, and there's much room for growth and a lot of potential. But one obstacle definitely is the product quality at the moment, and that the products are not convincing. So with Happy Ocean Foods, we try to change that by developing convincing products who are consumed by flexitarians and not only vegans. And we produce our products in Germany and Switzerland, so they are really high quality. They match the price of their animal counterpart, which is very important, and obviously they're more sustainable. You can see we have retail products as well as gastronomy products. I will give you some more information on that later. Yeah, on the left you can see several products, so they are all plant-based besides the animal tuna. And yeah, you can see that they don't look really convincing, and I can tell you that they don't taste really convincing as well. So our product is definitely, with those big chunks, more quality and more convincing. Also, it has only a very limited ingredient list, 10 ingredients, which are natural ingredients. And the nutritional profile is quite similar. So you can see it almost matches the nutritional value of a real tuna, and is accepted throughout all consumer groups: vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, flexitarians, and omnivores. We are available in wholesale, retail, and online, but mainly in the South region at the moment. So within this year, we want to expand in other regions of Germany and launch new products. We are definitely at a stage where we can easily scale. So our in-house R&D and our co-development partners can develop products quite fast and high quality. We work with the asset-light value chain or supply chain with partners to scale. So they produce other conventional products in tons, and we use their capacity for our products as well. So we don't have any scaling hurdles here. And we usually launch our products through the wholesale and then in retail to build first the product awareness and get some feedback on the product. Here you can see two of our flagship products. On the left, this is a fish fillet, where we use novel ingredients and technology. So it's based on microprotein and microalgae. And we combine wet extrusion and fermentation to get very good results in taste and nutrition for the product. And on the right, this is our shrimp version 2.0, so an advanced version of our current shrimps we're having in the market, because we see rooms for potential, for example, to increase the protein as well as the omega-3 and make it clean label as well. We have a full pipeline. We are about to launch tuna variations, as well as salmon within the next 3 months, and then the products I just talked about. In Germany, we are already quite popular. So you can see we appeared here in several newspapers, on TV, and we built a solid foundation for the brand. And now it's time to build the category brand, because you can see there's not such a brand operating at the moment. So we have ultra-processed products for vegans, we have traditional products for fish eaters, and then there are not really clean, healthy, tasty products for flexitarians, which is every second German, but also Europe, of course, a huge target group. So this is where we want to build the brand. And for this, we need 3 million in the pre-series A we are currently raising until the end of the year. This will enable us mainly to produce the new products and also speed up the development through a pilot plant, expand further in retail, and definitely do more brand building and strengthen the brand, and build a strong foundation for a Series A case. Therefore, let's make our oceans a better place together. And I'm super happy if you reach out to me via an email address or link. Hello to London, everyone. I hope you're having a great.
Yeah, we can clap for Julian. I think the last few words that he wanted to say is that you can connect with him, and if you haven't actually catch the details, because we stopped earlier, but please let us know, and of course we will make that happen. With Julian's presentation, we have concluded today's presentations. There are actually some of the Happy Ocean food products displayed in the corner, so feel free to grab some, take some home. And I'm just going to leave you with a very short announcement, which wouldn't be a surprise, probably. Vinay, this is not a surprise, the fact that we'll be back in 2025. So any founders that are interested, of course, in learning more about the program, you can come and talk to us. You can, of course, go to the website and apply. Any media companies in the room or investors, as well as other service providers, we work closely with other creative agencies as well. Please do come and talk to us. But also, without giving or diving too much into the details of it, I did mention at the beginning of the speech that with MFG, we are looking at constantly expanding under new partners, but also new markets. And perhaps it's also a lovely crowd just to say that our aspiration next year is to go to the US. We have started already working on what that program looks like in the US. And together with Neville Caraparavella, we have in the room today. He's based in the Silicon Valley. He spent the last 20 years in media, and more recently with the Times of India, and creating the first independent fund in the US. We are basically looking to support brands enter the market, which is not going to be an easy exercise. So this is an open invitation to all of you to please come and talk to us, be part of the next program, because we believe we can be that media partner and the partner of choice for the brands going to the market as well as coming to the UK as well. Thank you all so much for being here again today, and I hope you can stay with us for the rest of the hour and enjoy a drink and continue the conversation. Thank you.